So yeah, I also learned a few lessons from that experience. Number one, just don't do it outside like that. Okay, hello nhá. Okay, we're outside again today and there are a lot of people around and I'm again very self-conscious, but I'm gonna push through and give you guys another speaking full test today. It's also raining, so let's just consider this ASMR because I'm gonna be whispering into this the whole time. Okay, without further ado, let's jump right into it.
We'll talk about summer. Is summer your favorite time of year?
It used to be my favorite when I was a student because we had summer vacation and those 3 months break was amazing. I looked forward to it every single year, but now that I don't have it anymore, I would much prefer winter or autumn because I don't like the heat at all.
So, what do you do in the summer when the weather is very hot?
I stay inside 24/7 with the AC on, and I refuse to go out to even hang out with my friends. Occasionally, I would step outside to go to the store or to go to the swimming pool. But other than that, staying inside is the way to go.
Do you go on holiday every summer?
No. When I was a student, I would say that every other summer we would be able to go on a vacation, and it was always a special thing for me and my family, and I remember all of it very vividly. Now that I am more independent and I have the freedom to do whatever I want, I try to go on a vacation every year, but it doesn't have to be summertime anymore.
Did you enjoy the summer holidays when you were at school?
As I said earlier, it was something that I looked forward to every single year when I was a kid, but along with that, it was kind of lonely as well because I lived very far from all of my friends. My school was at the city center, and so did all of my friends. They lived around my school as well, whereas I lived in a pretty suburban area. And yeah, it was kind of lonely.
Okay, next we will talk about fast food. What kinds of fast food have you tried?
Many kinds. Fried chicken, pizza are the ones that I frequent the most. Oh, hamburgers as well. Yeah, but my favorite would have to be fried chicken. I would have one right now if I could.
Do you ever use a microwave to cook food quickly?
All the time. Currently, I don't own a microwave, but back when I was living with my family, I would use the microwave to heat up foods that was left over from the previous meal all the time. It is very handy, I have to admit that.
How popular are fast food restaurants where you live?
They are everywhere and you can easily find them if you live near the city center. They are also pretty affordable, so it goes without saying that you can see people coming in and out of those restaurants day and night.
When would you go to a fast food restaurant?
When I don't feel like cooking and also when there is a special occasion that I want to celebrate with my friends or even myself. Yeah, I feel like it just lifts up my mood very well. So yeah, whenever I'm happy or sad.
Thank you. Next, we will talk about languages. How many languages can you speak?
I speak Vietnamese as my mother tongue, and I also speak English as a second language. I'm also learning Korean, but I'm at a very beginner level.
How useful will English be to you in your future?
It has been very important to me in my life thus far, and I believe that it will continue to serve me well in my future as well. Currently, I'm working as an IELTS tutor, and also with this YouTube channel that I do, I speak English a lot. So yeah, it is something that I place a lot of importance on.
What do you remember about learning languages at school?
It was very painful. I really enjoyed speaking the language, but learning it in class was not something that I enjoyed because all of my friends were able to understand those things faster than I could because I believed that they had studied them beforehand, whereas I was only ever studying it in class. So I was much slower than all of them, and it was not a good time.
What do you think would be the hardest language for you to learn?
It's hard for me to say because I have not learned that many foreign languages, but I imagine that Japanese would be difficult because there are so many different alphabets and the characters are much more complicated than that of Vietnamese or Korean, in my opinion. So yeah.
Thank you so much. That is the end of part 1. Now we will start part 2. You will have to talk about the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say. You can make some notes to help you if you wish. Here is the topic.
Thank you. Okay, my topic for today is describe a luxury item that I would like to own in the future. Okay.
I will tell you when the time is up. Bang.
Okay, it's already started. Luxury item.
Your 1 minute is up.
Okay.
You may begin to speak.
Now? Oh, it's already started? Okay. So today I'm going to talk about a luxury item that I would like to own at some point in the future, and I would like to own an expensive bag. Now it surprises me even because I currently don't own one, and I don't really have any intention of owning one in the near future because I wouldn't consider myself a fashionista or someone who has a lot of knowledge in fashion at all. All of the bags that I've ever owned so far are ones that my family bought for me, and I could not care less about the style of them or whether or not they are from a well-known brand. All I really care is that it's functional for me and it helps me carry things around. That's it. But recently I have gotten pretty interested in fashion, and I've watched many fashion shows. I've watched vlogs of people going to fashion shows, and I got to see this other side of it all where they expressed how impressive everything is and how much passion they have for fashion. And I felt really inspired, and I began to get curious. And so I think that owning an expensive bag would probably improve my style. And it also would allow me to have an opportunity to take care of my things better, since it will be like a luxurious item. I imagine that I would feel the need to take better care of it, as opposed to right now where I would just throw my bags around and not really think too much about whether I keep it clean or that I keep it in a pristine condition or not. So owning this luxurious bag would teach me this new mindset. I hope.
Thank you very much. Now we will move to the part 3. Our discussion topic will be expensive items. Which expensive items would many young people in your country like to buy?
Young people? Yeah, young people. As far as I'm concerned, the most prevalent luxury items among young people in my country nowadays are fashion items. For example, like I mentioned in the previous answer, expensive bags or designer clothing. I think it's a great way to show your sense of style as well as a status symbol. Another kind of luxury item that I consider a luxury item is expensive technological devices. In the sense that it also is a kind of status symbol, and but I would also see that people don't really care too much about the functionalities of it all. They own it just for the sake of owning it, and some people don't even make good use out of those devices, which is a shame.
How do the expensive items that younger people want to buy differ from those that older people want to buy?
I think older people would prefer buying luxury items that last long. I think they place more of an importance on the longevity of the item, and they would want the luxury, the expensive things that they buy to last them a long time. Whereas for younger people, I think the consumerist mindset has been engraved into a lot of us, and we don't necessarily think too much about whether an item, a product is sustainable or not, as long as it has a name brand on it or a hefty price tag. That's all a lot of people really care about, young people really care about. So I think that is the main difference between the spending habits of old and young people when it comes to luxury items.
Do you think that people are more likely to buy expensive items for their friends or for themselves?
I would say that the majority of people only purchase luxury items for themselves. This is not to say that there are never situations where people splurge on a gift for their dear friends or family, but I would say that it is much more hard to find compared to something for themselves. I think it all comes down to the financial situation of each person, and if they find purchasing something expensive as a gift, something that they can comfortably afford, then yeah, they would feel comfortable doing so. Otherwise, treating themselves to something luxurious would be the extent of purchasing a luxury item for most people.
How difficult is it to become very rich in today's world?
I think it depends on the different professions. For most people, I would say that it requires a lot of hard work and intelligence in order to figure out ways to get rich quickly. However, I do know that certain types of jobs nowadays can allow people to become wealthy much faster compared to other kinds of jobs. I'm thinking of playing stocks, bonds, and or bitcoins, and just knowing how to do it well, I think could allow people to earn a fortune, sometimes overnight.
Do you agree that money does not necessarily bring happiness?
Yes, it doesn't always bring happiness, but it can allow people to do things that make them happy. And I think that is a distinction that is important for us to know. Having a lot of money doesn't automatically mean that you would feel happy right on the spot, but using that money wisely to do things that you like, to pursue your passion, to go on and have a better education, to take care of your family better, take care of yourself better, will make you happy. So it's not necessarily how much money it is, but what you do with the money that you have.
In what ways might rich people use their money to help society?
There are a lot of ways for wealthy people to use their money for good things. And the first thing that I can think of is charity. There are many celebrities who have donated a lot of money to different charities, and even going as far as gaining support from their fans so that they can collectively together donate a larger sum of money than they can do individually. And also they can, what else can they do for good? Rich people can also use their money towards investing into better facilities, better schools, better medical centers. Generally, just investing it into public infrastructures that would ensure a better living conditions for the public as a whole. Yeah.
Thank you so much. This is the end of the part 3, the end of the speaking test.
Okay. This was... Oh my god. Why don't I ever learn? Just don't do this outside. I cannot stay focused for 1 second. And there are even more people here than there were earlier. What is the lesson that I learned today? This is so hard to do in public. Like, I am so anxious right now. People keep walking back and forth, and I know that they don't care about what I do. But still. Anyways, I hope this is still educational in some way, or at least entertaining to watch. We'll see when I start editing this if I can salvage any parts of this. But if you did enjoy this, then please leave me a like, subscribe, and comment down below anything you want. And I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully I'll be I'll be less anxious in the next video so that I can be more helpful for you guys. Yeah, we'll see about that. Bye. Thank you.